Pablo. You got the shutout. You survived that onslaught in the second half, survived their set pieces. How'd you guys get it done tonight?
Again, like what I told the guys is we played some really pretty games early on in the season, and we lost on these margins. Tonight, second half, obviously with the ball, the standard was not up to snuff, but I think the grit, the determination, and the ability to, like you said, defend well in and around our box and defend set pieces was a big step for our group. And I think as we head towards the end of the season, these performances should build confidence when the game isn't going your way. And instead of absolving yourself of defensive responsibilities, you got everyone on the field working their tails off to keep the 3 points. And I think that's a big step for us. Again, like I say after every game, there's a lot of stuff we need to continue to improve upon, but just really proud of the mentality of the group tonight in that second half in particular.
You mentioned, maybe not playing pretty games. It seems like William Agata, he's maybe doesn't have the prettiest plays on offense, but he seems to always be in the right place and gets the job done. The goal tonight was a great example of that. The header doesn't go, but he sticks with it, gets the goal. Is he just kind of like that gritty type of forward that is just, he's going to get his, but it's not always going to be pretty?
Yeah, I think that's Willie. He's a bulldozer in and around goal. He puts his body on the line. I think he had first contact on the corner, stayed with it. So I think his bravery in that area is really important. He's been doing well in training, and I think it's great that he got his opportunity tonight and took it. Really important goal for us, and obviously culminated in 3 points.
Pablo?
Whether Kaliscan was defending a lot because they were picking on him or because he happened to be matched up with a player they wanted to play through, he had to defend a lot tonight. The crowd gave him an ovation when he came off. What did you see from him?
I thought he was exceptional. I think Noel, and I've said this in the past, is one of the brightest footballers on our team. Really thinks the game. There's not a training session where he doesn't ask one of the coaches to work 1v1 defending with him. And this is a player that has always typically played in the middle of the field, and now he's going outside. And so the amount of commitment he has towards his craft, it doesn't surprise me. That the winger there is one of the most dynamic players, and then it becomes a game of psychology, right? When you go up against Noel and he stuffs you 2 or 3 times, then it starts to wane on your opponent's psychology. And I just thought his positioning, his decisions, whether he cleared it or whether he found a teammate, top level. It was by far his best performance that I've seen as a pro, but it's starting to become standard for him.
Given the fact that Ojeda's now yellow card accumulation, does Emeka and Ellie get cleared to start? Does Kaliscan move inside and maybe Bodie? It's 3 games in 8 days. That can be fast.
Yeah, more than likely the latter will be the case. Emeka, again, we had a fight and scratch to get him dressed tonight, to get him a couple minutes. I think he can continue to improve his minutes, but again, he's been out for 6 weeks, has been training with the team now for 3 or 4 days. So I think it's a bit of a stretch, and really in either of these 2 games to get a start. So again, next guy has to step up. Bodie's going to come in. Noel's got to play the middle of the field, and the other part of that too. I think Pablo had a really good performance tonight with the ball, against the ball, and I think he's gaining confidence, gaining fitness, and starting to see the Pablo Ruiz before these injuries, which is really exciting for the group. So we'll see how the dust settles after tonight, and put the group out there that we feel is going to be the best for this game against Portland.
You've talked about mentality a lot this season. How did that show up in tonight's match for you guys?
Yeah, like I said, I think in the beginning of the season when we weren't good with the ball, there was oftentimes 2 or 3 players that would absolve themselves of the defensive work, and I think that also happens because you're getting results, and so we can talk about these things from a coaching perspective. I think the group feels as one. In other words, like everyone has a role to play to make this thing move forward. The amount of work that Diego and Ari and Willie did and Gozo defensively was critical tonight. We don't take those 3 points, we probably end up losing that game. So, that's what I mentioned to the group is that life will throw curveballs at you, the game will throw curveballs at you, and ask real questions. And tonight, I think the guys answered them really well.
And then what does a win like this do for the group heading into the next stretch of games for you guys?
Yeah, again, I think it's the confidence piece. We keep talking about, before we got back from the break, we needed 10 wins to put ourselves in contention for the playoff spot. And I think we got 3 out of the last 4. And again, I think it starts confidence, momentum, and then also how your opponents start to perceive you as different. And I think that's a huge factor in this. So again, a real gritty performance, definitely not something you chalk up on the board. But again, I think the human spirit trumps tactics any day of the week, and the guys showed it in spades tonight.
Paulo, congrats on the win again. I want to ask you about the formation. It seems like the formation today was more like a 4-2-4, more attacking. Is that because of the way Houston was set in the game, or something new that you tried today?
Just a little bit of both. I think the one thing that we've changed coming into break was, putting two players up there that can stretch, and that's worked really well. And then putting Luna and Diogo in a position that I feel they really enjoy, playing underneath. At times they got a little bit wide, and so again, this is our first go at it, but really want them in positions where we can break lines and turn, and then release forwards or release our outside backs. And so I think for our first run offensively, I think the first 25 minutes were really solid. But when you don't have a lot of the ball, you spend a lot of energy chasing it, and you got to take your hat off to Houston. They're a really good team. The result last week against San Diego away from home speaks volumes of what they're capable of. And so again, I'm really proud of the way we handled them. But we'll continue to fine tune that. And see if we can't make those 25 minutes more like 70, 75 as we progress forward.
My other question is, 2 games, 2 goals off of set pieces. Is that just the fruit of the product of the guys working in training, or just a little bit of luck as well?
Well, it's a little bit of everything. The universe is a crazy thing. I'd have a hard time explaining how that works. But we've been really deliberate in our training of set pieces, and I think for any piece, you got to have a good ball put in a very dangerous area, and then you have to be brave. And I think on the goal tonight, Pablo put in a good ball in a dangerous area. Willie had first contact and then got the rebound. So it's a bit of fortune, but you have to be consistent where the ball's being delivered and the guys being brave enough to capitalize on it.
We're going to toss it to Maddie over on Zoom. Maddie, go ahead.
Hey, Pablo. Earlier in the year, it seemed like there were a lot of games where RSL was dropping points in the flukiest and weirdest of ways. What does it say to you about the group's grit, their belief in the process, their trust in each other and in the staff, that you all stayed together, nobody ever put their heads down, and now that's two in a row where you're getting these 1-goal wins?
Yeah, that's a great question, Maddie. I think when you suffer as much as we did in the first part and felt so hard done by, whether it was red cards or giving up late PKs, whatever the case of, I think when you suffer enough, you have 2 choices. One, you can go on your own and go rogue, or you can band together and take those experiences as a learning moment. I couldn't be more proud of the group, and just a great leadership group, a great group of guys that really want to make our fans proud and our club proud. And that's something that's spoken about often, and I think tonight's gritty performance is a reflection of that.
Thank you. And then last one for me, with the match coming up so quick on Wednesday, what does it mean for you seeing the guys coming off the bench put in such strong performances for the group?
Yeah, I think that's another aspect of our team that's changed drastically since the beginning part of the season, where there was moments where we just weren't getting a spark. I think these guys tonight came in and did a wonderful job. Ari, Phil, all the guys that came in did a fantastic job. Vera, and so again, I think in the beginning of the season there was a lot of questions of some of the how we can change the game from the guys coming into the game in critical moments. Are we up a goal? So what's the focus? We got to first it's maintain the lead. Second is to try to find the second goal, not the other way around. And so I think tonight the guys really took it upon themselves to dig in a difficult game and find a way to get a result. So super proud of them and grateful for the book you handed over to me. I started digging into it today, and I think there's a lot to take away from that book. So grateful to you, Maddie, for enlightening me on the study of Zen, which is I love that space.
Thank you so much.
Pablo, early on, Goza was getting him behind all the time. We're seeing less of that. We saw almost none of it tonight. Is that because of the way teams are defending him, but he's aware of his speed? He's also doing a lot of deep defending, so maybe he's just not in position. What's happening?
Yeah, well, no, again, I think Gozo's still doing a good job. There's a couple plays where he was on, but we weren't looking for it. But I think that's the mechanism, right? If you have stretch, the back line has a choice. You can drop with them. So the way we want to break that down is if Gozo's on, play it. You're in on goal. If he's not down, that means the back line is dropped. You should find your 10s. And that's what I was talking about a little earlier about our 10s being too wide at times. If we're in central positions and now we get it, he recirculates his run and now he's running off a back shoulder of a center back. So, and then with Goes again, like, you know, he's been playing so far above the expectations. It's incredible. And he's still obviously learning a lot on the fly. And teams might, you know, they're probably going to play him a little bit more man-to-man. And so we have to find a mechanism as a team that if he's opening space for people, we got to find those people that are open, which will be Diego and Diogo, and then find him on the second action. So he's doing great, you know, and I think the defending part is something that he's still trying to come to terms with. Is, you know, we tweak things from game to game, and for a young man that's prides himself on being a great attacking player, the defensive part is also really important. So again, I'm really proud of Gozo, and obviously, you know, he's been an impetus to the results in the last 4 games.
When you did get him the ball, it seemed to come through Kaliscan. It seemed like there were wide spaces, and on the left side for Catranas too. Are teams going to pack in the middle of the field? Are they scared of Luna? Because it seems like there's 2 defenders every time he gets the ball. There's 2 defenders stepping to him.
Yeah. So again, I think that's what we have to iron out as we continue with this way of playing. Is anytime our outside backs, because they're in an advanced position, if their outside back releases, we have a 1v1 with a forward. If the timing is good and the pass is good, and I think those passes from our outside backs almost need to lead Gozo to goal as opposed to straight balls, right? A little bit more diagonal so that when he turns on them, he's right in front of them. And those are the questions they have to ask. If not, then Noel and Alex have time to walk up the field. And more times than not, we want them looking inside. Because we have so many numbers in there, even if we give the ball away, we should have a good repressing opportunity for us and then continue the attack going forward.
Pablo, viene el equipo de sumar 10 de los últimos 12 puntos posibles, pero antes de eso venía de una racha de 7 partidos sin ganar. Obviamente se trabaja mejor cuando el equipo está ganando, pero antes de terminar esa racha y empezar con la racha positiva, ¿qué fue quizás lo táctico que tú dijiste, necesito cambiar esto y mover un poco más de esto para poder mejorar quizás en ese aspecto?
Sí.
During the 7-game winless run, what were the tactical changes that you guys made that you thought were necessary to get this run that you guys have now had 4 unbeaten?
So, para mí, yo creo que fueron cambios tácticos, pero también yo creo que Pablo Ruiz ha hecho un muy buen trabajo en el medio campo, porque si tenemos 10 en las posiciones que queremos, necesitamos uno de los pivotes que siempre encuentran los jugadores ofensivos. Los cambios también tácticamente poner 2 jugadores en la línea de frente que pueden estirar la defensa. Antes tuvimos los 2-10, jugamos con un 9, 2-10 y siempre buscaban el balón por abajo. Y es muy fácil para la defensa que siempre quieren ir a presionar que encuentran los 10. Y ahora yo creo con el Willy y el Gozo abre la posibilidad de atacar por atrás de la defensa, pero también abre espacio a los 2 jugadores claves para nuestro grupo para seguir haciendo jugadas para el equipo.
We think Pablo during this time has been doing a great job in the midfield. The idea was with the pivots, to put some pressure in that midfield, and in the back line, we wanted to stretch that back line. And recently, the work of Gozo and Willie have definitely helped us get in behind that back line to create chances.
Pablo, felicidades por el triunfo. En el segundo tiempo, el equipo de Houston cambió bastante. ¿Qué crees que pasó? Pero aparte, cuando se sufre y se gana, se disfruta también.
Sí.
In the second half, Houston made a lot of changes. Why do you think that that happens? And when you're winning, you do suffer. You know, just explain a little bit of that.
Sí, yo creo que, mira, yo creo que fueron dos cosas. Uno, mandaron más jugadores para adelante, que fue muy difícil a marcar. Pero más que eso, yo creo que cuando nosotros tuvimos el balón, no hicimos buena jugada. O sea, las dos cosas afectaron la psicológica del grupo. O sea, sí, la manera de romper la presión es romper el equipo con el balón. Y yo creo que muchas veces en el segundo tiempo, al inicio del primer tiempo, tomamos malas decisiones con el balón y ahora empieza, el Houston empezó a agrandar en la parte psicológica y nosotros también nos tiramos para atrás. Los saques de meta seguimos jugando en la presión y perdiendo el momento para cambiar y manejar el partido un poco mejor. Y eso son cosas que lo vamos a hablar en el video porque son muy importantes, que no podemos aguantar tanta presión en el segundo tiempo. Es muy difícil, pero estoy muy orgulloso del grupo a pelear y no dejar que el Houston marcaba el gol.
In the second half, Houston added more men up front, and psychologically that pushed us back. They were able to hold on to possession. We made some mistakes, and that's something that I want to talk to with the guys, that it's hard for us to continue a whole half with the other team having all this possession because it doesn't allow us to have any chances.
Gracias. Thank you.
Congratulations on the win and on the shutout. And I wonder if you could talk about what Noel Kaliscan provided playing in front of you tonight.
Yeah, he's been playing so well now since he got the opportunity that we talk about between us. We got to be ready, and every time you have the opportunity, you got to play well, and he's doing that. He had his opportunity like 5 games ago, if I'm not wrong, and he kept his place on the team, and he's been playing so well, and he's a smart player. He can play as a fullback, midfielder, so he's a kind of player we can trust.
And pretty rewarding to get the shutout tonight on a night the team absolutely had to have it to get all 3 points.
As a goalkeeper, we always work for that. Now, of course, the clean sheet was so important for us because I think the result is good. The second half we could be better. We could, of course, control better the game. But that's the point. We got to win, make 3 points, and defend well when we need. And tonight, thank God, we could.
The back line in front of you has continued to change quite a bit, even during this game. You know, you bring Brian in, bring Bodie in. What's it like to have so many different guys in front of you on that back line?
We work a lot together. No, even if sometimes has changed, we've been working every day together. And of course, the coach had to do that because they changed their 4 forward players, so they came fresh. So we needed fresh guys as well. He put Phil to help more on set pieces and crosses because we expected that, and Phil came well as well. So we trust in everybody, and everybody has to be ready. That we always talk about because we never know when the opportunity comes.
You guys are winning games and winning games at home. Are you feeling more energy from the fans as the results get better for this team?
To be honest, they always did their part. You know, they always came here, watching and support us, and I think we didn't start well this season, but now we are getting better and in the right time.
Hey Rafa, congrats on the shutout tonight. Did you guys do something specific around Houston to shut them down, or was it just consistency? Because last game they scored 4 goals, tonight 0 against you.
Yeah, of course we prepared because we knew it would be a hard game. No, I think it was the first game. The opponent had more balls than us, more possession than us. Was hard. As I said, our second half wasn't perfect, but was efficient. So we knew they would play and play well and build from the back, and they've got good players and they are in a good form as well. So we knew it'd be hard, and of course we train a lot, and the most important thing is the clean sheet and don't concede goals. And as we conceded 2 goals in set piece last game, so it was important because they are so good in set piece and we defend so well.
And then they had almost 2 goals against, like the stat that they should have scored 2 goals, right? Does it feel good to have such a high number there and still get the shutout?
Yeah, sure. I'm not a big fan of numbers, to be honest, but the numbers are there, and the most important thing is win games. And as a goalkeeper, when we don't concede, I'm more happy. I'm happier.
Rafa, congrats on the win. What did Pablo emphasize before the match that really helped you guys tonight?
Pablo, first of all, it's a pleasure for me to work with him. I like the way he works and all the stuff. I think we are blessed to have them. And they help us a lot, so many videos, clips, and details, and help us a lot on the pitch. So I think the consistency, the last game at home, we won 3-2, but could be easier, the game, because we didn't defend well set pieces, and today we were much better, and that's it.
And then what's the focus for you guys going forward as you build off this result, moving into Portland and then, of course, Cincinnati next week?
Yeah, we have now 2 difficult games. Of course, in MLS, there is no easy games, but Portland away and Cincinnati, they are in a very good form now. And, of course, for us, we are getting close to the playoffs, and it's our dream and it's our goal. And we talk every day about that. And now the last 12 points, we had 10 points, so it's important for us, and we have to keep making points and winning games.
Maddie on Zoom, go ahead.
Hi, Rafa.
Hi.
The cameras caught you late in the match, giving the armband over to Anelli. Can you talk to us about what that meant to you as a captain to kind of hand off the band and how you feel about seeing him back on the field again?
Yeah, for me, I mean, I miss him because for me he's a great player and great leader, and it's my friend. We have like a group of the leadership, and he is the captain. So as soon as he got, I couldn't give to him as soon as he got, because he ran forward. So as soon as I get close to him, I gave to him because we are happy he's back.
And I should have said congratulations on the shutout. Just last one for me. Do you have a message for the people that have been suffering down in Florida? I noticed you, or in Texas. I noticed you were all wearing the black armbands tonight.
Yeah. So, of course, it's a bad news, no. So we cannot do anything, but what we can do is pray. What I can do is pray for them, and I will be praying, and hopefully it's gonna fix everything.
Thank you, Rafa.
Thank you.
Noel talked a couple weeks ago how much you have helping him step in that position as a fullback, and today you're crediting him for everything he has done. How are you communicating with everyone in the back line? Like they were saying earlier, everyone is switching consistently. How you keep their mentality like just ready to go whoever steps on the field?
I think before, nobody gets here for free. No, everybody works a lot. Everybody has your dreams, had your battles to arrive here. So everybody deserves to play. And what I try always say is keep everybody motivation, because we never know who is going to play. If you see Bodie, I think the last game he played was long time ago, and today he came, he defended well, he kept the result. So that's the most important thing. It's not easy to motivate player when they are not playing, but that's the truth. The team starts never is the team ends the season. So we need everybody motivated and ready to play and help.
And my last question is, you guys started to play a lot off the back, but it seems like the pressure of Houston was kind of frustrated. How do you determine to who the ball is going to go to when you take those long balls out?
Yeah, to be honest, we want the teams press us. We work for that, and to be honest, every time we play against teams, they are going to press us. We are happier because we work for that. We don't like the teams that sit down and wait. And today was a nice game. They were pressing well. Maybe we could move a little bit better, have more patience with the ball. But I think at the end of the day, we had a great game as well. We played against a good team. They're in a good form, as I said, and we gotta think on Portland on Wednesday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else in the room for Rafa?
Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Obrigado.
Oh, so many people here.
Congratulations on the win and the goal. There haven't been a lot off set pieces this year.
Thank
Can
you.
you just, from your vantage point, explain what you saw as that play developed and how you scored?
First of all, shout out to the boys. I would say like the goal is just a bonus, but I would say, shout out to my boys. They really fight really hard, Without them, the goal would not be possible. So thanks for the guys, for fighting through. And for the goal is what I like doing, I always try to find my spot, in the box. So I'm always waiting for this opportunity. So thank God today, I find one, in front of the box. So I'm grateful for that, and hopefully we keep scoring, as time goes on.
Set pieces have been a real problem for the team. You haven't scored a lot of goals. You've got both your goals off the set pieces,
Yeah.
but there've really only been 3 this year. Are you spending a lot of time in training on them? What do you work on? What would make the team better in those situations?
I do believe, sometimes, I'm sorry to use the word, shit happen, You try, to block as much as possible, but don't forget that, the other teams, they always scout, and see how you do your block. So sometimes you have a plan, to go through the game, and then going through the game, they change stuff, so it's a bit difficult, but I think we've been very good, in terms of, how we try and hold up, in this game, so hopefully, as times progress, we're going to, keep, maintaining, our men in the box, and then we keep progressing and keep defending well, so yeah.
The team's on a good run right now. 3 wins in 4 games.
Thank you.
What do you feel like is going well right now for the team?
For me, I would say shout out to the staffs, shout out to Pablo, the head coach, he been really putting in the work, and of course the guys, I feel like, it's really been, amazing week, everybody is fighting throughout, the week, for the past week, I feel like we've been working even before the win, but now I feel like, sometimes you just need, a bit of momentum, how do you say momentum, how to like take the peak, so I feel like right now we're in a better position, to face every team, and yeah, I'm happy, the way we play. We're scoring goals now, so we're winning games, of course, in front of our beautiful fans, so hopefully we keep winning, yeah.
And then you've been here for a couple months now.
Yeah.
What do you feel like you've learned about this club, about what RSL stands for in those few months you've been here?
So many things, honestly. First of all, a lot of nice people in the team, I must say that, and sweet staffs. And something that I would say I'm really proud of the team is the discipline, that Pablo set up in the team, I'm really, happy to be part of this, growth, part of the team, and I'm excited to be here, to be honest, this is the place I really want to be, and the discipline is something that I really admire, from coach, and I hope, and always, he set the tone, if you're not there, you're not there. He doesn't care you're young or you're the big player, if you're not there, he just gives everybody opportunity to play. So I would say the discipline, we have in the team, and of course, the way we play, we have so many, options, in terms of play. We can play with 3 in the front, we can play with 1 striker, so I would say, shout out to all the coaches and the discipline, how they do their thing, so I would say that, yeah.
We're going to go to Maddie over Zoom.
Hey, Willie. How's it going, brother?
Good.
I know that you do not like talking about yourself, but I'm going to ask you to anyway. There have been times in these last couple weeks where the chances are there, but they're not quite falling for you. The goal you scored tonight was almost another example.
Yeah.
Where you took a great position, you had a strong header, but it was deflected.
Yeah.
How do you maintain your focus and your confidence throughout the season, but also just tonight on that goal? Because so many other people would just put their head down and then miss the second chance.
Great question. For me, I would say, personally, it's the way I always carry myself. I always believe that, the next play is very important. Whatever happened now, the next play is very important. That's why you see sometimes I score, I just looking forward to next goal, and that's it. So I'm really optimistic, about every situation, either good, miss, goal, whatever it is, So I always try to focus on the next play. So that's why I was be able, you see me sometimes I miss chances, sometimes I don't get good passes on the ball, but I always, remain humble and hungry, for the next chance. So that's why. But I'm grateful today, There's a couple of ones that I can, finish, perfectly, but I did not. But I'm so excited that I was be able, to finish the one I had with the header, the rebound. So thank you for all your support, and I love you. I wish you're here. I didn't see you today here, but yeah. Yeah.
You were a constant threat out there, using your strength and movement, not only on the offensive side, but you were all over the place defensively. How do you balance using your physicality, but with your attacking creativity?
I would say, sometimes, not sometimes, most times, it's instruction from the coach, and of course he knows how to give you a role, especially with the kind of players he's having in the team. I feel like in this team, we have everything it takes, to face every team. So I feel like Pablo knows me the best, so he always trying to put me in a better position, better situation where he knows I can use my strength, which is, my physicality and, of course, my potential in front of the box. So I'm really grateful, I'll get to, work under the leadership of the coach, Pablo. So, and that's what helped me a lot, to be honest, So hopefully, keep on, winning and then see how it goes, yeah.
Thank you very much, brother. Congratulations on the win and on the goal, my friend.
Thank you.
Hey, Willie.
Yeah.
Congrats on the goal tonight.
Thank you.
And how are you liking the press here at Real Salt Lake?
Like I said, you just in the game sometimes you just need to understand, the team you're playing, and of course the instruction from the coach. So sometimes we like it, sometimes we don't, but you just have to do it, that's the instruction. So we're just like an army, and then Pablo is on the sideline to just command, and then we just do what he wants us to do. We really trust his process, and we're willing to do everything it takes, to win games, especially when the instruction comes from him, because he's a really brilliant coach, and of course his staff as well. So we love what he's doing, and sometimes we suffer, sometimes, but at the end of the day, most times, we succeed. So, and of course, you see the amazing win today, even though there is some point where we can do better with the ball in terms of pressing, or when we win some balls in front of the box. But I feel like we're doing great, and we can do better. So hopefully, things keep going our way, as the season continues.
Yeah, and scoring goals is the best, right?
Yes.
And then getting into some of those defenders and pushing them out of the way, is that second best, being physical?
I mean, you gotta do what you get to do sometimes, For sure, if you can overload the defender, with your weight, and you just do it. Take advantage of that, So I'm excited I can be able to play and also, use my body. But I would say it's always exciting, when you bump someone, and you still win the ball. So yeah.
Willie, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
What does it mean to get this massive win in front of the home crowd that was so electric tonight?
I mean, personally for me, it means a lot. I told you we have amazing fans. They're always here to support us during the bad days, good days. So they put everything, they scream for us, So for us, we feel like it's our responsibility, to every tackles matter, every attack matters. every 50-50 match as well. So it's really incredible, to see these guys, always coming to support us. So it means a lot, This is a way of our saying thank you to them, Thank you for coming, When you give them a win, they go back, home feeling good. And of course, the kids in the stadium, you see how they go crazy after the goal. So I feel like those are moments that, we always want to give back to our fans. So, and again, thank you for coming today again. So I hope they keep coming, and then hopefully we keep winning. So yeah, it really means a lot.
And then Houston made you guys work a lot tonight. How did you guys adjust to their pressure throughout the whole match?
Houston, good team, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. But like I said, we have an incredible, staff to take care of all the, back work. Our own is to just show up and do exactly what they instruct us. So shout out to the coach. They make things easy. To the coaches, they make things easy. They try to predict them, even though we see today that there's a lot of new things, unlike what we expected. But thank God we will be able to hold the pressure and of course get one goal, and which is enough to take the 3 point. So we're excited about that. Yeah.
Congrats on the win again.
Thank you.
I don't want to bring negativity to everything you have said.
Yeah.
But in your position as a striker, if you score goals, everyone is happy with you.
Yeah.
And if you don't, everybody wants to go after you.
Yeah.
How do you stay positive in those times?
Yeah.
And my other one is you have a fresh outfit today. What was the motivation or the idea after that?
First question, I would say this is our life, I was always been a striker, I remember playing on the street back home in Nigeria. I would take you back, If you don't score, your friends get mad and they're saying you to be a defender next game. So I understand. So, but since then I made up my mind, it's just a lifestyle, Sometimes I tell myself it's going to be good, sometimes it's going to be bad. So when you have a bad day, you just tell yourself, it's okay, boy, just make the difference the next game, just make sure you're focused for the next play, like I said, So next play is always important, But like I said, this is a lifestyle, It's always going to be good or bad, not just for a striker, even for a team entirely, But like I said, today is one of those days that you see we have a couple of chances, we will not be able to finish it, but we got the one goal, which is enough. So days like this, happen sometimes. And second question, this is a little something, from home. Some traditional dress, we call it kaftan. You can call it babariga also. So it's just a simple dress. If you want it, I can get you some, just $50, easy one, just an easy one, yes. Well, I thank you like it, but it's just a little thing, from home, it's just a traditional dress, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.